Canelo. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth about Canelo.
Floyd Mayweather has finally meddled into the feud between Canelo Alvarez and boxing mogul Turki Alalshikh, Sheik, and despite trying to be very diplomatic, Floyd Mayweather imposed himself in the face of the topic and fired mild shots at both Turki Alalshikh Sheik and Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez.
It's the first time Turki Alalshikh Sheik would be in a feud with anyone in boxing, and it may be more dangerous than we'd ever thought.
It's really that they don't want. It's not that they don't want to see Tank win because they feel like it's beating me because I dominated the fight game.
Floyd Mayweather was the very first boxer to give Canelo Alvarez a loss, and now he's back to speak about another loss of Canelo Alvarez, a loss happening outside of the boxing ring.
For so long, but these same writers out here, they are praised.
Floyd Mayweather feels Canelo Alvarez would only face more opposition because he doesn't fight the fights fans want to see. He claimed a large number of Canelo Alvarez's fans have turned against him, and now the boxing powers are beginning to find faults in his choices.
If it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter.
But he also claimed Turki Alalshikh Sheik was acting boundless, as he's just one of the many promoters, and no one promoter rules the sport.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy.
The feud between Canelo Alvarez and Turki Alalshikh Sheik happened because of a disagreement on talks regarding a fight between Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather, and both parties have clearly not handled him well.
Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
To Canelo Alvarez, he's been doing his boxing business long before Turki Alalshikh Sheik got into boxing. As a result, his fans and his reputation are enough to get him the fights he wants and the big purses.
And then we'll see, right? At the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not asking for that fight.
To Turki Alalshikh Sheik, however, he'll do everything in his power to ensure he brings Canelo Alvarez down, starting with his September 14th fight, which clashes with UFC 306. Saul Canelo Alvarez has faced consistent criticism in Mexico for his recent boxing matches, with arguments that he hasn't taken on the most formidable opponents. However, on an international scale, Canelo has gained recognition as the world's best or one of the finest pound-for-pound fighters.
Canelo was 23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts.
Floyd Mayweather, the first opponent who defeated the Mexican, stressed that Alvarez has already showcased his skills, but he added that he's not performing at the same level as before. People are like, oh, Canelo is cherry-picking, Floyd is cherry-picking, Mayweather said in an interview with Fight Hype.
And the world said he was inexperienced. I was 36.
What I have to say to Canelo is this: you proved yourself already. You've fought a lot of great fighters, you've tested yourself, you went up in weight to numerous weight classes. Like myself and other fighters throughout the years, Canelo is a great fighter.
With 40-something fights, and to tell you the truth,
but now everyone is saying he's not the same fighter anymore. And it's true, he doesn't look the same. And of course, you expect Floyd Mayweather to make all things about himself.
But what we don't talk about is, Canelo.
What's a Floyd Mayweather interview without him flaunting his wealth and individual accolades before your face?
To tell you the truth, I was over the hill.
But let's remember one thing. When I beat Canelo, I was older than Canelo is today. Now imagine Canelo at 36 fighting me at 36. Everybody says Canelo is on the decline, but remember, when I was 36 years old, I fought him. He was 23 years old and had 43 fights, but said he didn't have enough experience. Despite promoter interest, Canelo Alvarez has seemingly thrown cold water on the prospect of a mega fight with Terence Crawford. The Mexican boxing superstar emphasized his focus on his upcoming bout against Edgar Berlanga and expressed reservations about the Crawford matchup. Alvarez is set to face the young phenom Berlanga on September 14th. However, recent discussions surrounding a potential fight against Crawford, proposed by Turki Alalshikh Sheik, have created a media frenzy.
This position because of any. I'm in this position if he wants to work with me.
Speaking on the matter, Alvarez said, "I'm not asking for that fight. I think Teofimo Lopez deserves it more than me. My response to Turkey is this. Yesterday they texted me to talk about the Crawford fight in February, and I said, I'm not going to talk about any other fight. I'm focused 100% on this Edgar Berlanga fight. I respect Turkey, but if he wants to work with me, it needs to be my way."
It's in my way, not in their way. I don't need it.
What didn't you like about it?
Following Canelo Alvarez's comment, Turki Alalshikh has now stated that he is no longer interested in pursuing the fight between Alvarez and Terence Crawford.
How he approached, like what
It's not the way to approach.
Alalshikh has decided to shift gears, announcing his disinterest in pursuing the bout. Instead, he will focus on building Crawford's profile in the US market and promoting other top fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Gervonta Davis.
It's not the way to approach to me. Look, I respect everybody and I respect Turkey.
On the other hand, Saul Canelo Alvarez doesn't like to discuss future plans when he has a fight on his immediate schedule. And he emphasized how that point applies even when pressed by boxing's newest big power broker, Turki Alalshikh.
But look, if he wants to work with me, it need to be in my way.
Alvarez said he was contacted by Alalshikh on Monday about the possibility of taking a February fight in Saudi Arabia against newly crowned junior middleweight and four-division champion Terence Crawford.
you said you feel Crawford is easy. You felt that Crawford to you is easy money.
They called me yesterday, Alvarez told PPV.com in a Tuesday interview before his news conference with Sept 14 super middleweight opponent Edgar Berlanga at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Why? What did you see there, Canelo?
Look, I don't want to talk. Crawford is a great fighter.
They wanted to meet with me and see about the fight with Crawford in February. I said, look, I'm not interested in talking about another fight. After Sept 14, we can talk, but not right now. Alalshikh then announced on X late Monday night that, just wrapped up an important meeting now with my team, planning for the upcoming fights that we will make for 2024 to 2025. I decided to disregard the Canelo fight as I don't want it anymore. Instead, I will be focusing for the US market with bigger fights, especially for the legendary Crawford. He added, I am focusing on Riyadh season card, Wembley edition 21st of September, Anthony Joshua versus Dubois, and depending on the results of Riyadh season's opening card, Bivol versus Beterbiev on the 12th of October, I will build the card for the rematch of Fury versus Usyk on the 21st of December, and another big card in the first quarter of 2025. Stay tuned.
I don't really care about it. Look, I'm focused 100% on my fight, and I don't really care about it.
Just recently, Floyd Mayweather had a press conference as well, ahead of his exhibition fight against John Gotti III. Floyd Mayweather and John Gotti III kept things respectful this time around.
To be able it's always great to be able to fight where there's a lot of fight fans. And we know that Mexico has a history of boxing.
Mayweather and Gotti face off in an exhibition boxing on August 24th in Mexico City. It's a rematch of a 2023 exhibition bout between the two that descended into chaos when referee Kenny Bayless halted the fight due to excessive trash talk between the two, causing a near brawl in the ring afterward.
Mexico has a history of great champions and the love of boxing.
Now the two are set to run things back. At a press event in New York City on Thursday, both men remained chill before engaging in their first face-off for the rematch.
And the love of boxing in Mexico is truly unbelievable.
Gotti is the 31-year-old grandson of infamous mob boss John Gotti, but made a name for himself as an MMA fighter before transitioning into boxing, where he is currently 2-0 as a professional. The 47-year-old Mayweather is widely considered to be one of the best boxers of his generation and an all-time great. Sporting a perfect 50-0 professional record, Mayweather retired from boxing in 2017, but has since engaged in a number of exhibition bouts like this one, including matchups with Logan Paul and Aaron Chalmers.
To go take a vacation in Mexico, but never having a chance to go to Mexico and actually fight.
The first bout between the two, which happened on June 14, 2023, was an exhibition boxing match held at the FLA Live Arena in Sunrise, Florida. It ended in a controversial way, with the fight being stopped in the 6th round. The stoppage led to a post-fight melee that overshadowed the bout itself.
It was fate, and I think this time is fate. You know, we wasn't supposed to have this fight again. One thing led to another, and
Mayweather, the legendary undefeated boxer, and Gotti III, the grandson of the notorious mob boss John Gotti and a professional boxer and MMA fighter himself, were expected to draw significant attention due to their high profiles. However, the chaotic end to their first encounter, including a brawl involving members of both camps, led to the fight's controversial conclusion.
Why not? I get a second chance to one of the greatest fighters to ever lace up boxing gloves, so...
Gotti III threw more punches and showed more aggression after the fight was stopped than he did in the actual bout. Will things change and he brings that same energy during the fight when they rematch in August? Only time will tell. Recently, in an interview, Floyd Mayweather brought back memories of his famous fight against Canelo Alvarez at the weight class when talking about Crawford's move to a different weight class.
That's gave the sport of boxing their whole life and sacrificed a lot inside that square circle.
I have one fight, and the fight was at a catchweight, but it wasn't my idea. Anyone can go online and pull this up. It was an article. So with Canelo. At one time, I believe Canelo thought I was scared of him, that I was afraid. So he said Floyd doesn't want to fight me? I'm willing to meet him at 152 or 152.5 pounds. And me, I called his bluff and said, if you want to do it, let's do it at 152 or 152.5. But after, Canelo made the weight. It wasn't like it was a certain clause where he couldn't gain weight. He weighed 152 or 152.5. I think he came in at 168 or close to 170, but I came in at 151 or 152.
So at one particular time, you guys can, anybody, you can go online and pull this up. It was an article. So with Canelo said, I believe Canelo at one particular time thought I was scared of him.
The 47-year-old first faced Gotti III back in June 2023, with the fight ending in chaos after a brawl broke out when people stormed the ring. They were initially slated to meet again on Super Bowl weekend in Las Vegas, but now DAZN have announced the fight will be held in Mexico on August 24th. Unfinished business, August 24th rematch in Mexico City. This is something you don't want to miss. Mayweather wrote on Instagram alongside the fight poster, the 47-year-old enjoyed a phenomenal career in professional boxing, winning all 50 of his fights between 1996 and 2017. That culminated in a money-spinning crossover fight against UFC star Conor McGregor, and the American has since had a number of exhibition bouts around the world. He has fought in Japan and London before facing Gotti III in Florida last June. Gotti is the grandson of former New York crime boss John Gotti. The Teflon Don was the boss of the Gambino crime family. He was sentenced to life in prison in 1992 after being convicted of a string of offenses, including 5 murders. He died in 2002 following a battle with cancer.
50 and over. Starting out with that jab. Go straight to the body too, very nice.
Yep. Mayweather's first fight with Gotti III was declared a no contest after referee Kenny Bayless stopped the action in round 6 due to excessive trash talking. But Gotti then forced his way past the official and continued throwing punches at Mayweather. 30-year-old Gotti, the grandson of organized crime icon John Gotti, turned professional in boxing just a year before the fight. He also held a 5-1 record in mixed martial arts. Before the contest began, there was a loud Gotti chant from the crowd.
Floyd trying to get it. And we know that's one of his signature punches. I told you he was going to entertain tonight.
A big delay before the start of the first round because there was a mob of people in Mayweather's corner that security and others had to clear out. Once the first round started, Mayweather was toying with Gotti and began to unload with punches from the start. Gotti was pinned against the ropes and covering up, and not throwing much of anything in return. It was a complete mismatch with Mayweather landing whatever he wanted from all angles. Mayweather was dancing, trash-talking, and having fun in the ring. In the second, Mayweather was picking his spots with punches to the head and body. Gotti actually threw a few shots, but they were too slow and hit air. The third round saw Mayweather come out in a shell and dared Gotti to bring the fight to him. Gotti refused to take the bait.
Work out. Work out. Work out.
He tried to throw more punches, but not much landed. Mayweather continued to tag his body with hooks and then came back upstairs. Gotti was too slow with his punches to connect in the fourth. Mayweather pinned him against the ropes and began to unload with shots to the head and body. Gotti tried trash talking and got popped to the face for his trouble. In the fifth, there wasn't much of anything from either guy, as Mayweather was taking his time and picking his shots. Before the start of the sixth, referee Kenny Bayless warned both men for their continued trash talking and antics in the ring, and warned that he would stop the fight if they continued to ignore him. Bayless had warned them several times for their trading of obscenities during the bout. Once the round began, they continued to trash talk and use rough tactics, so Bayless had finally seen enough and waved off the fight.
Chop it again. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up.
Press conferences, the trash talking.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what makes it.
Once the fight was waved off, Gotti lost it and went after Mayweather, and they began to brawl. Both camps stormed the ring, punches were thrown by both sides, and there was an ugly mob scene that lasted for some time as the entire ring was filled with bodies. Even after Gotti and Mayweather were escorted out of the ring, fights erupted inside the ring between both camps, and the craziness continued outside of the ring. A member of Mayweather's team got on the mic and pleaded with those in attendance to safely leave the venue without further violence. Following the brawl, Gotti did not stop taking shots at Mayweather. He took to Instagram to post, "Punk idiot Floyd Mayweather, you are my enemy for life." Now the unfinished business between the pair will be settled in the squared circle as Money Mayweather makes his return to the ring. However, this return is marked by so much chaos surrounding the boxing legend, as his initial opponent was his old rival, Victor Ortiz. But recently, he refused to show up in the press conference ahead of the fight. The Money Man had obligations to appear as scheduled, even if only via video link, to address the Mexican media as promised. However, the 5-weight world champion was nowhere to be found. And not too long ago, Mayweather posted on social media that his next fight would be held in Mexico. He added all would be revealed on the date in question. Floyd was then to participate in a workout the day after. Both events have since fallen flat, with bemused organizers and journalists gathered in a room for no reason, with the presence of top professional boxers like Jaime Munguia. As it was reported, Mayweather's original opponent, Victor Ortiz, was dropped from the main event. Ben Thompson stated that this was due to Ortiz having the same representative as John Gotti III and favoring that rematch over a second helping of the 2011 professional fight. ESPN's Salvador Rodriguez, who was present at the press conference, confirmed that Ortiz was in attendance but never announced the stage. It's known via social media that Gotti III was also in Mexico as he lined up a return fight of their 2023 effort that ended in a Florida arena brawl. Mayweather had also attempted to rematch Gotti during Super Bowl week in February. Again, Mayweather announced the event before no further information came from the ex-pound-for-pound king. There aren't many around Mayweather who can clarify what is going on with the boxing legend who has recently been held down in Dubai. It was, however, confirmed that Mayweather did not go to Mexico, did not confirm his fight as promised, and subsequently deleted the Mexico poster and workout information from Instagram. The CDMX government, who were pushing to help the event occur in the late summer, are said to be disappointed with how things transpired. It seems that Mayweather is determined to land another fight with Gotti despite the bad blood between families. Moving the fight outside the United States may well have been a good move, however. That's since been put under a cloud as fans and media wonder what is going on in the mind of Mayweather when he was reportedly being paid $1 million just to show up at Wednesday's media event. According to reports by WBN, Mayweather's absence from the press conference left organizers and journalists bewildered, with no explanation provided for his no-show. Furthermore, Mayweather's original opponent, Victor Ortiz, was dropped from the main event, leading to speculation about the reasons behind the sudden change. The CDMX government, which had been actively involved in facilitating the event, expressed disappointment over the turn of events, casting a shadow over Mayweather's reputation and the future of the exhibition match in Mexico. Eventually, he settled with John Gotti III, and come August 24th, both fighters will face off in the ring. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like. Until next time, peace out. The